Taurus, if you want to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. Here's your ink blot made in your name and essence. And I'm going to dig in here to explore your aura for shapes or symbols that speak. Thank you for holding space for me to share my insights. Taurus, let's dig in here. I'm seeing some sort of lizard, and it's heading in a very particular direction. Taurians, that there's this feeling, as soon as I jumped into it, it's a lizard, but with the ability of spider legs. But they're heading, they're marshaling towards a particular understood direction. Right? There's this lizard and there's the spider legs. Kind of getting the feeling like you're willing to go for what it is that you want, what it is that you're driving towards, on whatever channel that may be. And it's kind of like Black Widow spider legs. Not at all costs, but there is definitely a drive. If something's with this whole marshaling of aircrafts, right? It's nope, that's going over here. Avoid this. Head this way, straight, straight, straight. And if anything gets in your way, then these spider, Black Widow things poke it, get, go. That's how it's making me feel anyway. And it is balanced, at least in the sensations I'm receiving, being a guest in your aura. So thank you. Male and female are really working together to bring in not only this focus of drive, this is what we want. We want to save up for a new house. And when I say we, it could even be within the self, but it could be with an external partner expressed. We want to save up for this house, or we want to, get this, whatever the plans are. I want a new job. I want this position. I don't know what it is. That's not my place, but you're going. And you're moving puzzle pieces around. Very subtly, in some instances where I'm seeing the game Frogger, I think it's called. And he's trying to cross the road. He is crossing the road. Let me be clear about that, being in the Taurian energy. I am crossing the road. I am getting to the other side of something, whatever that destination is. And these cars and navigating, instead of them having the right of way, it's like the Frogger has this ability. Anyway, I hope you understand that this symbolic story there. There's also a determination. There's a discipline in this. Taurians, you are on track for something. You're navigating. It's not a track like when I in a loop. And even as I'm seeing the road linearly, the Taurian is crossing it. I wonder, it could even be an age thing. If you're moving, from 29 to 30, or 39 to 40, 49 to 50, etc. That being one example, but it feels like this threshold. I'm not in a racetrack of a loop, and I'm not necessarily following the crowd of this linear point A to point B. You're crossing. Kind of going against the grain, but not really. It's not against your grain. It's actually in flow with your grain. Okay, I'm going to keep going here, if that makes sense, Taurians. Sorry, I'm going to get my little scryicle out here, because I'm seeing a little something. They're coming out of... You have choices. And it's you're making, as these choices present themselves, as you're making different moves, you're deciding, does this work with what I'm driving towards? But they like pop out at certain times. Like if I'm in this Frogger game and I don't actually know a whole lot about it, but then like different things come in. Like maybe there's a fly buzzing. You're like, oh, I want to eat. Like different things come up that actually nurture you and you're not missing them. And I think that's the point. You're not missing the point of worrying about A to B or being in some vicious cycle. You're kind of taking a different route to enjoy not only where you're heading to very clearly and marshaling this airplane of your awareness into whatever it is you'd like to experience. You're having these other experiences along the way that are nourishing, food, pleasure, all that kind of good stuff as they present themselves. I'm going to flip it to Win It Here, Taurians. This feels fascinating. Ooh, I just had an eye come out at me, like right there. Okay. Something's being created. Sorry, give me one moment here, because I just had a deck of cards flash in my face, and I'm going to see if I can find it quickly without... Okay, give me one moment. I'm going to pause it. Sorry, Taurus. Had to get the steampunk deck. I don't know. That's what it popped up. There's something between... Okay, could be between the eyes. Like you're not fixated. There's something about the vision. I'm not fixated on left brain, right brain. Is it close? Is it far? Is it this or is it that? But between the two eyes, like as these opportunities or you're navigating and making choices on the fly, your third eye, if I may, if you resonate in with that, or you can call it your intuition, second sight, this, that, or the other, is harnessing. Thank you. Harnessing. Harnessing. Very clearly that word is harnessing. For an ultimate perspective, I'm seeing two Taurians, please. Football, goalie, posty things. Goalpost, maybe? Insert any sort of sports terminology that serves you. I feel like there's going to be a double win, like a double whammy. And not in a bad way. It's this double win for the Taurians. You're going to, because of the way I, being in your energy, am navigating, I'm not overwhelmed. I'm just simply aware at the different ways other people, places, or things are moving. And I'm choosing to kind of move in and around and amidst both the linear and the cyclical. And that symbol may mean something to somebody. Straight line. With the circle on top. And because you're moving through both of them, but on your own, there's just a double win. Double win. We have here the comet. I don't know if that'll come through, but there it is. Sorry, I have ink and paint all over my fingers. The comet. Yeah, you're moving quickly through this. And even in the comet, there's two, and then there's one larger one. And that's like reminds me of when I was talking about the eyesight of perspective. What serves a cycle, what serves linearly, and it may have a place, and Taurians will know when they engage it. Do I want to engage with this cycle? Do I want to engage with this point A to point B? And then there's this other one. They are feeding this kind of the state of oneness for whatever it is that the Taurians are working towards. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. So, thank you. 7 of Leviathan. See how this dude here is like marshaling in this lucky sevens. That's what you're doing. Lucky sevens. Luck is on your side, Taurians. Whatever it is that the collective is working towards. 7 of engines. Another 7 has popped out. You are listening. And not only are you listening, Taurians, I feel like other people are listening to you. Sorry, I'm in a place right now and I'm trying to discern. It's like people want me to speak and I don't want to. Give me a moment. Something else is coming through. Okay. Thank you. So I'll use this card as inspiration if it'll come through. Like, okay, so see, whoop, up there, there's the statue, and I think there's other figures up there. And then this is like the crowd. And then here. Okay. If you're not already in a leadership role, and maybe that's not the point, but if you're leading and marshaling your multi-dimensional man and Mitsu in towards this being a leader, that's where you're heading, and I darn well say you will be successful at it. That's where people want to hear what you have to say. Maybe you're going to get that position, or I actually just heard somebody might marry into a large family, and you might need to speak to your position in this large family. And then there's another place of see how even the Taurians are placed in different positions amongst this. Some wanting to be the leader, to be heard, others stepping into a larger arena. And then there's another Taurian energy. You guys are like trifecta style here. This is how it's feeling, trifecta style. As a collective and individually, you're not staying in these places, in these positions of perspective for too long. It's like you're choosing them for a particular experience that will serve something else in the overall. Maybe this is your overall life. You know, when like clearing up karmic cycles, clarity, this, that, or the other. Anyway, I'm going to come back. Then there's another Taurian energy that is observing those in leadership roles, those amongst the crowd, and they're stepping back and they're like taking observations more in the unseen realm. So maybe somebody's working more in the esoteric arts or spiritual arts, or just simply a subject matter that isn't expressed. Seeing a lot of railroad tracks as well. Trains, planes, and automobiles just came through. Blatantly saw the airplane in your ink blot. Now I'm seeing train tracks. And then with Frogger, there was the cars. Trains, planes, and automobiles. That might be a movie. Vintage at this point, but it might be a movie. But it falls in line with exactly how the Taurian energy is feeling in this trifecta areas. As a collective, Taurians, it feels as though you are covering a lot of ground. And if I may, it's like earth, your earth stuff, boots to the mud, providing responsibilities, that kind of stuff. And then into your mind, your psychology, whatever the case may be, the way you think, your mindset, attach any word to your heart or to your energy. You are working it in every area. And you're in control. You're in control. Okay, Taurians, I'm going to keep on going here. I want to flip it one more time. And like I said, I want to repeat that your male and female energies are working together. And if you have a partner that is expressed in another person, this might relate more into somebody who's marrying into or stepping into, dating this, that, or the other, a larger family. Maybe they have children, right? And you have the same goals. Even though you might go about it differently, that's appreciated, right? Okay, if I'm covering, as an example, so I'm covering more air, but my partner here is covering more or airplanes, and the other one's automobiles. It's like that. It's appreciative because collectively as the family or as the other people or even just the energy between you is the train. And it gives it the chugga chugga. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like this is, well, it's always cryptically creative when I feel like if you get it, you get it through the ramblings and rambles. All right. Taurians. Is there anything that's standing out? There's an energy building. Yep, I saw you. Ooh. Energy building. This says I'm in the mind, or at least I feel like I'm in the mind. If anyone's getting a lot of headaches, I feel like switching gears. You might be in the airplane mode or go into airplane mode if that shuts things off. Some quiet time. Thank you. Okay. Taurians, we got 3 of airships, the stricken tower, and navigator of engines. I'm going to take a boo here if you give me a moment. Okay, so this tower, it feels like the power. The tower of power. And this tower I'm not reading as the traditional tower. I'm staying in the present moment of being in your aura energy. See how in the 7 of engines, that statue back there, it's like that statue is representing of this tower because it's large, this leadership role, or even just this presence in your position of who you are, self, soul, and spirit. And it's generating power. And like the Black Widow, it's, see if there's like chucking a person off. If it doesn't land, it's just like a bug zapper and it's zapped away. It's not a malicious thing, or I'm not looking for trouble. This is, I'm generating something in my tower of my totality, of my, third eye and tangibility. And I'm not dealing with things that are trying to just bother it. Okay. The 3 of airships. Yeah, there's that airplane again. I feel like sometimes your thoughts, Taurians, maybe almost like an inventor kind of feel, like if you're bouncing ideas off oneself and you're like, I don't know if that's been done, or this, that, or the other. It feels like you might be looking at things upside down, but for you it's just an alternative perspective. And I'm seeing somebody like inventing something or looking at something, and then if I was looking at this, and then I'd be like, and I also want to look under, and I also want to look over. I don't want to just look at it at face value. I want to explore it so I can understand its meaning when I place it in my plane, train, or automobile, which inevitably feeds my power, my tower of power. Yes, navigator of engines. You are navigating this. We've been talking about it from the beginning. You might have went to school for something along these lines, or maybe doing some studying. I'm seeing a person like pick up a book. This isn't necessarily about reading it. It's about reference. Reference is the key word there. Reference. Maybe that resonates with somebody. And okay, even like when we were talking about Frogger, because this guy has a map here and there's a woman in the back. Again, that male and female. Everyone's working in their own way, shape, or form, whether it's the energies of the Taurians amongst the collective. And there's trust, Taurians, trust. When I'm in the navigator of engines, I feel as though I'm trusting that position, or that part of me, that person in that position. And it's almost as if, as an example, say we were in airplane mode or in the airplane vehicle, and one of us or a portion of me is the best navigator, we'll say, for that. And then we shift into automobile or train, and perhaps a different aspect of myself steps forward. And it's like, yeah, you're the best navigator for this. So it's very shared. And there's a lot of trust, but it's like building up the trust within, my intellect, my intuition, and my imagination, if I may, or psyche, psychedelic, and psychic senses. the trifecta. But you're in it for the win, and you're gonna win it, Taurians. You've got the power because you're making it. And that brings me back into the inventor kind of feel. You're inventing it. And that's why some people might, if you do share your ideas or thoughts with somebody, friends, families, they might kind of look at you like, and you're like, I don't need you to understand. I'm just, trying to bounce things off. And it's almost like reactions give you another state of reference. All right, Taurians. Is there anything else for the Taurian energy? No, I just saw like, yep, you can bring it on home. Everything's good. It's that clear. Stop, park it. So Taurians, thank you for being my muse. And until next time, links are below to help a gal grow. If you want your own Rorschach in a reading, or you can donate to the channel. All right, thanks.